Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. All right. I received a response to a comment that I posted in someone's chat room. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button and feel free to chat in my chat room after the show is done and right now if you like. I like to read as many chats and engagements as I possibly can. Anyway, so I seen this video and it was more of the same, blah, 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 blah. She talking to me like I'm dumb. And it was really like black man this, black man that. And I sent a message. I'm going to share it with y'all. It was saying, have you ever taken time out to listen to what black men have to say? Because it was all about, oh, they prefer white women just because. I was like, well, have you ever actually listened to what black man instead of for speculating or, giving your own reason? And apparently they haven't, nor will they. But we're going to get into that. So let me share the screen. Let me show you the slight exchange that I had. All right. So it says, have you ever asked a black man and listened to his answer instead of for speculating? Would you like to come to my show? Now, of course, she's not, and she didn't because she's a black woman and she wants to be able to write her own narrative as opposed to listen to a different one, get a different perspective. Someone else replied with, ask what? Don't need to listen to y'all. Listen to black women. We've listened to y'all long enough. Have they? Have they listened to us at all? And I'm not talking about the women of yesteryear, which this is not. I'm not talking about the cornbread bacon Big Mama. No, not talking about that. I'm talking about the modern black women. When was the last time they listened? Gotten our point of view, adapted their behavior according to what they heard from black men. So, in the backdrop of this, hit the like button. In the backdrop of this, a show comes on, and it's on right now. This is a fresh watch for me. A show comes on called Listen to Black Women. And it's going to be more blizz blazz and ham ham. I've seen it before, but I want to watch it with y'all. So it started at 8 my time. So it's actually live right now here, or premiering right now. So I'm going to see what they're talking about. I'm going to step in on what they're talking about. I'm going to eavesdrop on what they're talking about here. Let me see if I can find it. So, no time for a short today. Apparently, they have 20 people watching their premiere. This really shows how much people don't want to listen to black women because they've been on for 14 minutes. And it's not like I have like a ton of people watching, but the funny thing is that they have like a high production value. Like Ebony K. Williams was just on, and you would think that it would be more people listening to black women, but quite frankly, we've heard it all before, and we don't care too much what you have to say. Now, take a look at this. This woman has no damn hair. She has none. She got more hair on her knuckles than she does up top her head. And she's talking X positivity, power, pleasure with what's that? Jaree Johnson, Jesse Wu, and more. Oh crap. Why do we care if this person is positive or negative in any aspect that applies to positive or negative? This is ridiculous. Hit the like button. We're going to get into this.
Sex. Yeah. Not my mama.
I'm like, yeah.
Welcome to the new season of Listen to Black Women. I'm L'Oreal, and let me tell you something. I don't think y'all are ready for this panel here, right? It's been quite a riot, and we didn't even...
So, L'Oreal has gotten fatter and less haired. I'm going to point this out. I'm going to reiterate this. L'Oreal, who's the host of the show, and this is the one who, she tried to interview Michael B. Jordan, and it didn't go too well because, he thought that she was the one that called him corny. She went to school with him, blah, 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 blah. So she's the same age, or roughly the same age as Michael B. Jordan. However, he is much more fit. I'm going to say that. They both work in entertainment. He's, of course, a lot more successful. And again, he's a lot more fit. Now, what does that say? That says that Black men and Black women raised under the same conditions and circumstances will have completely different outcomes. That's why the obesity rate is far different. In fact, Black people in America are the only group of people in America where the women's fat and obesity rate tops the men's. I repeat, we're the only ones where the women are greater than the men. But look at L'Oreal. Look at her. How are you going to work in entertainment and decide to be less attractive? Okay, like Kanye West said, we're all self-conscious. We're all self-conscious. We all look in the mirror and we notice if we get an extra gray, an extra wrinkle, an extra pound, or something. In fact, I think it was either yesterday or the day before. I stepped on the scale, and then I took a piss, and I stepped back on the scale. And I was saying to myself, my piss weigh a lot. And this was a regular one. This wasn't like a full stream. This wasn't like, I'm streaming like Netflix. This was like a regular one. And I swear, because mine is in pounds and it has like a decimal point after, I think it was like 0.7 or 0.8 of a whole pound in a regular piss. So I was like, wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. But anyway, we all have that like self-conscious moment. And I think that would just be magnified like tremendously if I worked in show business. It would just be like ridiculous. It would be, exponential because my livelihood depends on my looks. It's not just something that I'm using to attract the opposite sex or as a representation of how healthy I am. My entire livelihood depends on it, as does hers. But yet, look at her. Look at this strange, villainous smile that she has. She bought a shorter wig to put up top her head, and she's gained weight as Sweet Melody Media has lost it. This is maddening. Her panel is full of fatter and fatter women. Hit the like button.
Even get started yet. Jessie Woo is here with us.
It still took me years to be comfortable with sex.
Danielle Young is here with us.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so sad that women have this shame when it comes to sex.
Now Jerry Johnson is in the building. Okay.
I'ma do whatever I feel in the moment that I feel it.
And last, Miss Tori Hart.
I used to sneak and do a lot of stuff because I didn't feel like I could talk to my mom.
We all love the show Harlem. You do your thing in there, and you play Ty, who is very into her sexuality, right? And she's free. Is this something that when you saw the character that you were like, okay, I can relate to this?
No, I was very much like, one, I love that it's good writing. When they were asking like, how comfortable do you feel like with your nipples out, or how comfortable you feel? And I'm like, I got this body once. I'm gonna be 25 once. If there's any time I'm gonna have these titties out, it's now. You know what I mean? But for me, I think the biggest part was to try to.
Holy crap. You're 25? I would have sworn that the numbers were reversed. I would have sworn that you were 52. If somebody would have asked me how old are you, I would have been completely off. You are 25 years old. You're a quarter century. Why do you look so mature? Yeah, that's polite. That's a polite way to say it. Why do you look so mature? You look very mature. Look at this. Look at this. Now, I wanted to, I tell y'all this all the time. Hit the like button. I tell y'all this all the time. The fatter you are, the less your ability to cross your legs you have. I repeat, the fatter you are, the less of an ability you have to cross your legs. Look, the slimmest, sexiest ones, the more leg crossier she is. Look at this one. Look at this one. It would take Colossus, the Thing, and the Incredible Hulk just to get one leg over the other. Look at this one. Well, she's on some, invisible penis thing, so she's not gonna be like that. But look at this. Look at this.
To showcase as much as I have power over real queer sex. Like, I love making love to women. I love when women feel pleasure. You know what I mean? It was also important for me to show that femininity in the sexuality as well, and that versatility, because I'm versed.
But we're more hesitant into.
How are you showing femininity when your hair is shorter than mine? How are you showing femininity when your hair is shorter than mine? And this bruh's hair is shorter than mine. Like, her weight is greater than mine, but her hair is shorter than mine. She looks like a sumo sparring partner. This is just madness. This is ridiculous. Listen to black women. Holy crap, why? Why? I don't listen to women like this unless I'm drunk, and I don't drink. This is hit the like button, people. Hit the like button.
Showing more of ourselves because we are judged, especially black women. Because if we see Taylor Swift sleeping with this man and next week she got another man and singing about another man, I ain't never really hear her being called a hoe like Lori Harvey gets called a hoe.
Right.
Yeah.
Who I only might have seen. We don't even know if she's sleeping with some of these men.
Right.
We don't know what any of these people are
Right.
doing. But it's very sad that it has to always come like.
Hold up. Somebody said something retarded. Dang it, you people. All right. Hold on. Well, I can't find it again. Y'all hit the like button. Somebody said that she's not that big. It's the blue that makes her big. What is blue? Does blue have weight on it? Is that why they don't make blue scales? Does blue have pounds on it? Is there a weight? Is there a measuring? Like you have grams, you have kilograms, you have ounces, and you have pounds, and then you have blue. What are you talking about? That's madness. No, it's the fat that makes her look fat.
I say be our own.
Yeah, you
You
gotta
change that.
Yeah.
Also, though, I think white women just get this privilege that black women or
Of course, because they can cross their legs like you. I think white women get this privilege. Shut the hell up. Pretty women get privilege. I repeat, pretty women get privilege. If white women are getting more privilege than you, it is because they are prettier than you. If you find yourself as a kid getting less Halloween candy than another kid, even though y'all trick-or-treating at the same houses, it's because that other kid is cuter than you. Has nothing to do with race. It's not who does that? Who does that? What type of racist person just says, I'm not going to give you as much candy because, you're black?
Hispanic women, other women just will never.
Look at this. This is 120. She got blue on. This is blue. You telling me that if you took this outfit and put it on her, they look reverse? She's not big, it's just blue.
Have. White women are revered. Like there's a whole culture around protecting the white woman.
So many black women have died.
Okay.
And black
men have died behind the
protection
sexuality of a white woman and the protection of, the sexuality of that white woman.
And now they all look like light skinned black women to me. I can't tell. Taylor Swift is the last white woman alive.
She's very vanilla.
She's the only one I know.
She's the only one.
The rest of them, I'm like,
that's a plain vanilla.
I said Keisha. Oh no, that's Sally. That's Sally. Sorry, girl.
Now, Jesse, you came up with a term. Zozo?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Zozo. Tell me what Zozo, with the Zozo.
Zozo is a penis.
She didn't come up with that term. First of all, I thought it was Zuzu. But that is something that Haitian women scream when I put my penis in them. Haitian woman has the best actual performance of all nationalities of women that I have slept with ever. If I had to guess, the worst is probably gonna be like a Oriental or something like that. But she did not coin that word. Years ago, I heard that. Now I know what it means. I thought it was something that they just shout in pleasure. But yeah, she did not coin that word. That's crap.
Oh,
it's a penis, but we say it in Creole. Okay. Like when I first started making.
Okay, so she admits that.
Talk a lot about like sex, but
and I didn't know she was Haitian.
About it, I would talk about either like past experiences or experiences from friends, and even then it was seen as, oh my god, like why are you talking about this? I'm like, we're all getting angry, and so in my culture. It was really horrible to say it. Like it was horrible, like as a Haitian girl, to acknowledge that you have had sex. I started having sex at 19, and I didn't tell my mom. Like she kept talking to me like I was a virgin, and then I was like, Mom, I had sex. What?
Well, why are you talking to your mom about this? Listen, I mean, most parents of teenage daughters know that at some point they either have or are going to have sex. It's just not something that's openly spoke about to their parents. It's just disrespectful. You just kind of, it's an aggression. Somebody said, my black man is Haitian. It was crazy, too crazy for me to stay. Oh, your baby mama. I was okay. Yeah. I do think that they channel a lot of their crazy into their vaginas, but I've never been in a relationship with one, so I don't know. But yeah, it's it is a thing. All right. Somebody said something. Secondhand embarrassment. Yeah, this is embarrassing. This is live. This is going on right now. And hit the like button. So I haven't watched this. That's why I scheduled this for now. Just so y'all can know, I haven't watched this yet. I think it was Melody Media. I'm having a hard time like finding people's stuff after they write it. But here it is. It says, are Black American women's second best game changer? I think she's talking about how I was rating women's actual performance. And I'm thinking, and I want to say yes, as far as anticipating desires and fulfilling, um, and matching rhythm and overall curvature. Um, I want to say yes. However, it depends on the categories because white women do win on enthusiasm and imagination, definitely. And as far as frequency, and it's not because of anything that's different with their anatomy. It's really, even though their anatomy is different, but it's not anything to deal with that per se. It's really just that they don't have the same desires and designs that many black women have, and that is to where they're trying to use it to control you. So, if okay, for example, with black American women, if they have a desire, a actual desire, they will suppress that desire just to withhold it from you so they can have that leverage in a relationship. White women don't care. If they like to go down, they like to go down and stay down. And white women come with all kinds of um things that I never thought about, that and I think about weird stuff. I think about a lot of stuff. So when somebody comes with like a new interesting thing that turned me on that I didn't know would turn me on, that is impressive. Cause I tell you, like, I do stuff like especially with white women. I say, hey, could you hand me a Q-tip? And she says, sure. And she hands me a Q-tip, and I'm thinking to myself, I just got a white woman to pick cotton. I kid you not. That's what goes to my head. Like, yeah, pick that cotton. I want your ancestors to see you pick this cotton for me. I don't I don't tell her that, but that's what goes to my head. Just so y'all know, my imagination is different. But so is theirs. So years ago, with a white girl, I go in the bathroom and she was sitting on the toilet peeing. I was like, hey, I gotta pee too. And then she opened her legs, and like the little gap between it, she just invited me to pee there. And so she's sitting there, and she was like, yeah, you could just go ahead and pee in that little gap. I was like, oh crap. And it turned me on when she said that. I don't know why. I do not know why. And I don't even know if she meant to. So little stuff like that, white women have the advantage. But as far as like physicality and the performance in it, I'd give that to the black women. But Haitian women just overall tops the performance charts. Oriental women are definitely at the bottom, unfortunately for them when it comes to it. It wasn't a golden shower, but of course there was some splashback. There of course was some splashback, um, which is unavoidable. But did I just like all over the chick? Nah, nah. But that little gap where it's hard to aim, yeah. Anyway, um, Asian chick are at the bottom of that, and it's not to any fault of their own. It's I mean, there's always the first of all, um they feel it more intensely, but they're reluctant to make sounds. I think that's a cultural thing. um they await instructions more than just um surrender to their nature when intimate. And I don't know. It is something. It is a difference in anatomy that's hard to ignore. So I would give them the bottom on that. But but what do I want to say? But as far as relationship performance, they do top the charts. So pick your poison. Somebody said it sounds like black women are doms. D squared said it sounds like black women are doms. Yeah, many are. Many are. I do make it a point not to, and it's dames, but I make it a point to not sleep with female dames. Um, it's just a class in it. It's a clash in interests. But I do know that in BDSM, there is an abnormal high concentration of black female doms. Um, I, I and to be quite frank, I think it's part conditioning, but I also think that I also think that and this is gonna sound bad, but hey, we already in it. Um, there's a money factor involved, and I think that why it comes off that way is because a lot of B dubs are like that because it pays. They found that it pays. Well, yeah, yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure as a sub, you would know, especially because black female doms would be into you. They would they would be into you. But yeah, it is an abnormally high concentration of them.
I come from a very religious background.
Right.
And so I remember like I fell into a deep depression and I went into a revival my friend was having at a Jamaican church. I'm like, I'm going to hell.
Oh, she's Jamaican.
It's over for me.
Damn.
And he came to me and he said, Miss, God is telling me to tell you to forgive yourself. He's already forgiven you. I adopted a new outlook on it, but it still took me years to be like comfortable with sex.
I think that like, especially with your Haitian background, I have a Southern American background, and it has a lot of shame attached to sex, especially for women, and like
especially for men that have it with you. You know something, that probably isn't because you're from the South, but yeah, fellas from the South, do y'all feel she from Mississippi? That's like getting paste for Conte sauce from New York City. This is, oh crap. It's hard to tell if she's sitting or standing. Like, the chair knows if she's sitting or standing, but yeah, this. I got friends from the South, and y'all be on this stuff, and y'all be in this stuff. That is nasty. That is nasty. And like, tell me, am I lying? And tell me, do y'all brag to the homies about this? Do y'all brag to the homies like, I smashed that? Do y'all? I hope not. Dear God, I hope not. I hope it's something that you do when you're high off chitlins and you just want you're high off of chitlins and dirt and you just won't. You just need something. I'm hoping that it's something like that. Somebody says, why is that girl in the blue and white so extremely gigantic? Oh my fucking God, she's Planet Namek. Exactly. Like, I'm surprised that these smaller women aren't orbiting around her. I'm surprised that they're not just like floating around her in a moon-like solar orbit. Like, she should have her own gravity. She should be like absorbing light from cameras and stuff. This is just madness. And then on top of it, she ain't got no damn hair. To just top everything off, she ain't got no damn hair. And this is the problem with black women. I'm gonna tell y'all this. this is the problem with black women. Y'all should not even be together. Like this one right here. Oh, how come my mouse not showing? All right, because I'm pointing. Come on, where's it at? Do y'all see my mouse cursor? Well, anyway, the one on the left should not be friends with the one on the right. Only black women be friends with such a huge disparity. It's such a huge disparity. I mean, basically, you losing penis just by sitting next to her, and you don't even know it. You don't even know that you are losing. You are losing. Listen. Have you ever seen a porn with some crap like this? No, because it neutralizes. Like if you was watching like a threesome porn and these two chicks was in it, you can't get excited with her in the room. You can't get turned on with her in the room. See, this is madness. And it's this solidarity that they have with lesser women that holds them behind. I'm going to show y'all something. I wasn't gonna do a short of the day, and then the next time I did a short of the day, it was gonna be about this. But since Grinch came through, I appreciate you, fam. Since Grinch came through, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show this short of the day so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Hold on. And by the way, stay tuned for the show this weekend because I'm going to talk about old pussy. I'm going to talk about women in their I just learned a new word called perimenopausal stage in life. And wait, how come that short that I seen earlier is not showing up in my history? Anyway, they're in their perimenopausal stage in life, and they talk about the difference in how their vagina functions in that stage in life. Here it is. Okay, so, but see, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Because in the black community, if you smack a fat bitch, a skinny one says, ouch. It's ridiculous. All right, hit the like button while I switch these screens. And
this is as nice as it's gonna get. So basically, I don't like someone who's based on like image. Like he said the wig thing, but you have on a tight shirt and tight pants. So it's like if you're gonna talk on someone else's image, you should look at your own image.
I looked at my image 10 times in the back.
This nigga's you see.
Don't be talk about wigs and you need to go to the gym.
Hey, I done lost a little weight, man. It's okay. It's cool.
That's what I'm saying. You worry about wigs, you should be worried about the gym and the diet and other things like that. I just feel like, once again, if you're gonna be focused on aesthetics, you should be aesthetically pleasing.
That's cool.
That's just my thing.
I feel you.
Plug.
Okay. Why are you speaking in defense of a lesser woman? Apparently what happened was, I didn't see this episode of Pop the Balloon, but apparently what happened was he had some choice words about another woman who's probably hefty with fake hair, and she popped her balloon, and I think she has real hair. Why do they come to the defense of doing that? Y'all should not be together. Y'all should not be friends. It's birds of a feather flock together. How come in y'all got peacocks and turkeys in the same damn flock? Y'all got peacocks and penguins in the same damn flock. Like, y'all need to stop flocking with these chicks. That's what y'all need to do. That's part of your general, displeasure. It makes you a displeasure to be around because now you are absorbing her smell. You are absorbing her smell right now. She has that spam like Vienna sausage like smell that women her size tend to have, and it's getting into your fake hair. That's what's going on right now. Hit the like button.
And growing up in my household, there was 3 of us sisters and 3 brothers, and so it was never told to the boys to, you know, to treat women well or to be respectful. The conversations were given to us,
Of course,
to not be sluts, to not open our legs, to basically to not have sex at all.
Yeah.
So
They think it's a bad thing because they stupid like that. They think that it's a bad thing. They think that parents telling their daughters not to have sex is a bad thing, which means that they're going to tell their daughters to have sex because they're stupid like that. Somebody says she ate her siblings. Damn right. She was supposed to be triplets. Yeah, she been eating babies since she was in the womb. She just like absorbed 2 other babies and to make her.
Similar to y'all, I didn't start having sex until I was 20. And I basically wanted to do so because I felt, you know, I didn't feel pretty.
Who in the hell smashed her at 20? And let's not talk about how the metabolism, you know, slows as you age. No. Her thing has been in reverse. Her metabolism has been trash since day one. Since day one. She has always absorbed too many calories. Her mama breast milk was chocolate. This is just nasty.
Pretty. I wanted to be wanted. And so I started having sex as a hoe. Like I just, you know, just was out here in college and just spreading it wide. And laying it low.
But most people do that,
Listen,
so don't feel bad.
Well, no, I don't feel bad. It was great. Had a great time.
Sitting here with a
Wonderful.
smile.
It's just so sad that women, especially Black women.
Okay. I want to give the brothers of whatever college that she went to the benefit of the doubt and say that she probably wasn't out there like that because she said 20, which means that she was in college for maybe like 2 years or so. Already before somebody decided to drink enough to smash that. And it would have to be like a white dude. And I'm not saying that white dude has like a fetish or desire for such a woman, but white dudes, especially college white dudes, they drink a lot. And they also do in their hazing fraternities and rituals and stuff, it's really based on degradation. As much as I know about their process, it's really based on degradation. Like you got to do like nasty stuff and humiliating stuff and degrading stuff, versus Black fraternity, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all Divine Nine brothers, correct me if I'm wrong. But as I understand it, it's really more like a 6-week ass whooping. White fraternities, they like, okay, I want you to eat a bar of soap or do something crazy. Where Black fraternities, it's a 6-week, it's a 6-week ass whooping. And I think that part of the white fraternity ritual is to fuck a bitch like this. I think that that's part of it. You do not get into this fraternity until you fuck the fattest, baldest, nastiest bitch you can find. And that is how she got hers.
In my experience, have this shame and this like barrier of religion when it comes to sex.
And the thing is that the religion factor takes the pleasure out of it.
Exactly.
Because it's like almost immediately I'm already thinking
guilty.
about
You gotta fall
I'm
down
going to
at the
hell.
altar.
Yeah, now I have to go repent. Now I have to go.
And in Europe, they're having a conversation so early. In America, most people have their first time in places like cars, whereas in Europe, most of the time it's in your house, and your mom is like, here's the protection. In America, if you like somebody has a condom, right? When you're younger, it's like, ew, why do you have a condom? Are you having sex? But in Europe, it's like, why don't you?
Like you
need to, you know. And so the culture is just different. The way we talk about it is surrounded in so much shame that we grow up being like, and it's not till we get in our 30s when we're like, actually, I gotta figure out what the fuck this is.
My mom tried to pull some crap like that. My mom tried to pull some crap like that on me. And I don't think what she said about Europe is true, because it's a continent like that's comprised of many cultures, and I doubt that something like that spans throughout each of them. But my mom did try to pull some crap like that um, when I was like somewhere between 15 and 17. I was in high school, and she said, son, if you ever need the place to yourself, so so you can bring somebody over and do your business, then just let me know ahead of time. I was like, no, I'm not gonna let you know. What kind of crap is that? What kind of crap is that to say? Like mom, I just assume I would just as soon sneak than to do what you just suggested. I would just as soon sneak. What kind of crap is that? What am I gonna? Hey, mom, I need a place to myself so I can smash something. No, you will not hear that come from me. That is awkward. You even just saying stuff about it is awkward. No, I just assume sneak and you pretend like you don't recognize that smell. That is the best you can do for me. What kind of crap? Why would you think that's okay? That's not okay.
Last thing too, have y'all moms ever talked to y'all pleasurefully about sex?
What the hell?
I realize like
these prods are listen to this crap. It's like every day they just think of new degenerative ways. Listen, that is both awkward for you and the kids involved. It really is. Not only is it awkward, it's unnecessary, irresponsible.
I remember one time my mom was like, when you get married, you can live with your husband. We can all live together because like in Haiti it's so communal.
Wait, is she Haitian or Jamaican?
And I was like, no, like what about when we have sex and I'm screaming? Oh. And she's like, why are you screaming during sex? Right. And I'm like, because I'm coming.
Yeah.
No, she's lying. She's lying. Haitian women embrace penis like no other. And they are extraordinarily loud with it. You should not be able to smell when someone has had sex. Yes, you do. You smell when people you smell when people run treadmills. How come you don't smell when people have sex? It's a physical activity. It's a sweat nasty physical activity. What do you mean?
Oh, you said that to your mom?
Yes.
Oh, now I still wouldn't say that.
I realized that coming was not a priority for my mother.
Yes.
And my mother had 4 kids.
And it came once.
No. But Tori, that makes me think about you because you have a daughter.
Right.
So do
D squared. If I was to blindfold you, it was not just a woman, okay, if I was to blindfold you and walk you into the gym, you would know that this is a gym. Whenever strenuous physical activity is going on, you smell it. That's just how it is. You smell it. If a person is burning calories, that is the smell of burnt calories, that comes from sex. Yes. Now, granted, if it smells like, Long John Silver's, then that is a problem. If it smells like Fisherman's Wharf, that is a problem. But no, just two people engaging in cardio in a place that normally smells like Febreze is going to be noticed. No, it shouldn't smell terrible, but it should smell like cardio. It should smell like physical activity. It should smell like people have been sweating.
do you talk to? She's not having sex yet, as far as you know.
But we are very open.
And you
we
talk
about everything. I'm the mom that.
I should go to classier gyms. No, I shouldn't go to classier gyms. I go to 24-hour fitness where big people, and I'm not talking about fat people. I'm talking about big dudes, muscle dudes, and Mandingo dudes be grunting, like they orcs and stuff. Like, yes, it is a classless place, but apparently they get swole there. So that's where I go. I'm not going to a place where people are trying to not sweat and smell bad. Now, granted, it's nasty when people don't watch down the weight bench. But yeah, go 24-hour fitness.
Yeah, she ain't happy.
By the way, if y'all thinking about a membership, know that many of them here in California aren't open 24 hours anymore.
I know sex,
yeah. And but was that ever a difficulty for you? Because you didn't have that, right?
Well,
You
no,
said your mother.
My grandmother was a minister. 2 aunts are ministers. 3 uncles are ministers.
So
your
house was the church.
Yeah.
That's why I moved far away from all of them to Los Angeles, because I was like, I don't like this. It feels like a cult in a sense. Yes, I used to sneak and do a lot of stuff because I didn't feel like I could talk to my mom.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So therefore, my daughter, like anything she wants to do, I'm like, come to me first, talk to me. Anything, I will not judge you. It's an open door for you.
The crazy thing is, I had a young mom, and I was always like, la 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 la.
She was trying to.
She was talking about, oh my God, she was always. And my mom worked at the bar. Oh, she was a hot girl. And so my sisters and my cousins was all getting and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not gonna have sex until I'm married. I'm not.
Women shouldn't smell when working out. I shower before and after. Yes, I know, but that's during. Like, do you shower during? Are you on the treadmill? With the shower on. Is there like a walk pad in your shower? Like, no. Like during the act, you shower because it smells. Because the process. That's why you're not fat. Because guess what? If you get on a treadmill and you didn't sweat, then you. All right. Now, granted, I've never been in a gym and walked up and smelled a chick. But after sex, I do feel the need for a shower. That's because I feel sweaty. I mean, I don't smell myself like many people don't, but I just assume. My sweat don't smell. Okay.
I put that on myself. I'm like, moms are supposed to be in the house cooking and doing. She was outside. My mom was on cops twice. This was outside. Okay.
No, she wasn't on cops twice.
Not
on cops twice.
Let's go to milk.
Right.
All right, I give up. Every woman in my chat room right now, your sweat smells like cinnamon brownies. Okay. Y'all sweat smell like cinnamon brownies. Let's just go there because that's what y'all have us believe. Okay. Sex in the shower is amazing. Yes, if you're 4'9", it is. Listen, there's certain things that sound good, but when you try it, when I try it, I had a Nissan Z. I had a Nissan Z back in the day, back in the 90s. And I thought that, if y'all don't know what a Nissan Z looked like, this is a car from the 70s. I thought that it would be a good idea to break in that back seat. And it works good in theory. It works good in theory. In actual practice, it does not work. There's certain things that don't work unless you're a contortionist midget.
Yes. And she has, in 2019, she passed away, right? But before she did, I feel like we were mending or getting closer to each other.
Right.
But I love that woman because I feel like I am as bold as I am because of her. I don't have that shame, and I feel so accepting of people because of that.
But it all makes sense though. Even like when I think about myself, my mother's an ordained minister. So when I sit here and listen to what everybody,
all these Suge Avery broads. Every broad here is a Suge Avery. Like they all come from ministers and grew up to be hoes. Like this modern women.
saying we all have that common ground where church was in our household. So maybe that's where our shame towards each other
Sure.
starts coming out.
Like you can't shame people out of being sexual.
Right.
Like that's just not, it's not gonna work.
Do you think it's necessary to have a whole phase throughout
Oh,
your
yeah.
life?
Yes.
Within your-
Oh, why the fat one say stuff first? Why the fat one say stuff first? Oh, yes, somebody wants your whole face. You got a move phase. What the hell? Is it okay for a woman to have a slim phase? Imagine her coming up to my penis, and they do. It's always chicks like them that say stuff like, you know, like, hey, you know, it's my birthday. You gonna come over later? They say stuff like that. Like, how come the woman next to you don't say stuff like that? How come they don't have like aggressive hoe phases? It's you.
Yeah,
Yes, I had been with this guy for 5 years, so I wasn't really having sex with a lot of people. And so for one summer, I said, I'm gonna do whatever I feel in the moment that I feel it. There was this time where I was at this bar having this meeting with this girl, and this bartender was just giving me the eyes and just kept giving me these blueberry mojitos or something. And the bar was kind of empty. So I was like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. And I'm like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. There was. So I was like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. And so he's like, oh, okay, I got you. And so
this is a good story.
Right. And so
No, it's not.
he come to get me the toilet paper, and we end up in the freezer. In the freezer.
I'll cheers to that. Oh, I guess I never had a whole face then, because what in the...
That story doesn't make sense. You told him to meet you in the bathroom because there's no toilet paper, and y'all wound up in the freezer? First of all, I didn't know bars had freezers. Maybe it's because I don't drink, but I didn't know bars had freezers. Hit the like button. I didn't know bars had freezers. And why? Yeah, how did you get from the bathroom to the freezer? It's a very weird story, but okay. Women like this, they do stuff just to have a story to tell. They do stuff like that's really the only reason why some of these women suck penis from time to time, and that is just so they can have a story to tell to top other ratchet fat broads.
I'm gonna have sex in the freezer if I want to have sex in the freezer.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean? Now I could get down. I got a sex positive family. Okay. I come from a sex positive mother. I'm one of 7. She got all different daddies. Okay. Trying to make me crazy.
Oh,
period.
okay.
Now why your mama catch a straight like
She know what it is.
I feel like it's totally opposite for me in the sense like I really do agree that women should have a whole phase. Every time I've tried to have a whole phase, I always run into somebody with a very small penis.
Oh
Every
my
time.
God, that's awful.
And it's just like I feel like that's
you a house or move on.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't. I remember last year, literally, I tried it back to back. I was like, okay, Lord. And mind you,
She's full of crap. She's full of crap. Listen, okay, let's just go off of the meaty. Okay, it's not much of a hoe phase if you just come across one penis. It's not. If you sacrifice some pussy for the sake of you know, to have a story to tell, so you can have a hoe phase story to tell, and you come across one and say it's little, like, okay, I tried. What? No, there's a multitude of penises. You can actually feel it on the dance floor, you know, if you was really about that life. See, these women really about that life. They're just doing it to not seem prudish and to have a story to tell. See, bras like this, they spend the majority of their prime years, and unfortunately for these chicks, this is their prime. Like, this is as good as it's gonna get. Like, I seen L'Oreal on the show look worser and worser and worser, and she didn't start off like at a top. So, you know, this is their prime, and they spend it, you know, sipping mimosas, catching some strays from time to time, and the only reason why they catch the strays is so they can have something to talk about while they sip their mimosas. That is how they waste their youth. We're going to talk about this Saturday, you know, about what happens in perimenopause, but that is how they waste their youth. Look at this. We should be seeing upskirt by now. We should be seeing panties, but we don't. Why? Because her thighs are too pressed together.
Mind you, I was down in Jamaica.
Jesse,
you don't have no small belly in Jamaica.
Jesse, we want to know. Jesse, we want to know.
How small?
We want to know.
Yeah, how
He
small?
was too small.
And see, I had a whole phase later on in life because I got married super young, and so it's like it's kind of hard to hoe at 40. You know what I mean? Like it's a little harder to hoe.
I know a lot of hoes.
It's hard to hoe at 40. Why do you want to? Why? Listen, I don't know how difficult it is to hoe at 40. Okay. When I was like 29, I did have a I don't know if she was like late 40s, but or early 50s. But she said, and she was attractive for her age. I give her that. I said, she asked me my name. I said, my name's GameChanger. She said, oh, that's my grandson's age. And that's why it's harder for you to get penis. And I swear, some of these cougars, and press 1 in the chat room if y'all can relate to this story. They literally be enticing young men with video games. With video games and treats and stuff. Like, they literally, some of them will literally have rooms full of video games and snacks. And I'm not saying that they're on some pedo stuff, but you know, for like young dudes in their late teens and 20s to come through, they really do be on that.
All the hoes is 40 and over.
It's just harder. Like the pickings is slimmer. You know?
No. But I want to hear about your whole face.
I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah. Make some noise. We gotta support our sister.
Listen,
Come on now.
No, I love a good hoe phase. I'm a believer of after breakup hoe phase.
Nice.
Yeah, especially that. That was my last one before.
And this is why they say listen to black women. Nobody want to listen to this crap.
This one, which was really great. A Jamaica hoe phase, which was great. I booked a solo trip, but at one point I had gone and got a massage, and I came back to the bar, and then I turn around, and there's this like
Jamaican dudes don't like these broads. My loan officer is a Jamaican dude from a first home, and he was telling me how before this. And the rumors is true, at least in his case, about having a lot of jobs. He's had a lot of jobs, one of which was he worked on a cruise ship. And he was telling me how it is a lot of, it's generally understood that part of his job is to satisfy this. And he said it really picked up with black women around the time that, he's older, around the time that Waiting to Exhale came out. So that is a thing, and they don't like this crap. it's a job, and it's a dirty job, and that is a dirty job. Just thinking about our dirty South, it's just, look at her shoes. She is terrible. She is terrible.
Winston from the house.
Winston.
Like muscular, chocolate, white teeth, everything was working. And I wasted literally no time. From the time that we met, it was until the time I was walking with him back to my room, it was maybe 15 minutes.
Wow.
That to me is hope. That to me says hope.
It's funny we talk about this because you said something on your page, Jerry, that was like, you want to be the gigolo. Don't let me misquote
I
you.
remember that
The
shit.
gigolo of helping women learn the pleasure.
So,
is that what it is?
Nice that you mentioned that. There's a lot of women who have not experienced pleasure.
Yep.
Right? It's something about giving women the power to know, hey, this is not actually what I like. And also the language to say, actually, if you go down and you go this way, that's going to get me right where I'm going. But if you never are with a person that you're comfortable enough exploring that, or even have had the chance to have somebody open the conversation up, you're not going to know that.
Yep.
And so let me come tell you what's working.
So every woman though, because you said every woman.
I don't want to say
said every woman.
Where's the sign-up sheet for that?
And I'm like, is the whole phase over, or are we in it?
No. I am currently not in my whole phase. I am currently not.
No, but
a
I'm
gigolo.
saying, can we sign up for the service?
Where the suck?
And that's what I'm saying. That's a certain.
These chicks are just saying stuff to. She's not in the closet. She's open with it. These chicks are just saying stuff to seem interesting. Like, really? Do you need a sign-up sheet to suck a penis? So there's this porn. I don't watch it, but it comes across my feed and I click it because it is interesting. And that's a dancing. It comes on my Pornhub feed, and it's called Dancing Bear. And what it is it's these guys who put a bear costume on their head. At least some of them do, and they shake their penis in front of a bunch of women, most of whom are attractive, and these women will take turns sucking it, like they're at a bachelorette party or something like that. And I'm thinking, like, what's with all the extra stuff? Like, what's with all the theatrics? What's with all the extra stuff? Y'all don't have to go through all the stuff to suck a penis. You don't. You just suck it. You just open up a Tinder account or Hinge or whatever is the popular swipe app now and say, I'm looking to suck some penis, must be, 8 inches or greater. And society will provide. So, but they want to go through the extra stuff because it's really not about that. It's really about having a story. That's where do I sign up? Like, really, you don't have to sign up. You just go. Yeah, Dancing Bear. What do I call it? Yeah, it's called Dancing Bear. Y'all can look it up. It's yeah, and it's just that. It's these male strippers, and it's just as I described.
Service that I wanted to provide, and not just with me and
you
other
mean you're
people.
gonna have people that you pay to go and do it, and they collect?
Yeah,
I'm about to say your jaw gonna hurt.
So you was hiding flights.
I see a future here.
You know what I mean? If we think about how we learned about sex,
Yeah.
like, who had a conversation with you about sex? Who told you how to have sex? Who told you how to have sex? Not just safe sex, but pleasurable sex.
Yeah.
Not my mama.
I want to wrap this up and just say thank
It's
y'all,
about
everybody,
damn
for
time.
being so open about everything you've been through. I know it's not easy because they get on here and they start judging us about the things we say. But we're being open because there's other Black women that are going through the same things that we went through. This is Listen to Black Women. I want to thank y'all so much for joining us. I'm L'Oreal, and we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that happened. That goes into the whole listen to black women category. This is the type of foolishness. I mean, and I hate. Here's the thing I hate. When it comes to shows like this where they put black women in the title, I don't like that they think that promiscuity is their bright idea. What you have is you have women who are easily influenced by modern culture and modern society. You know, it's okay, like Sex in the City. It's like, come on now, y'all didn't invent this. Y'all didn't invent this. What was her name? Amanda? Who was the slutty one on Sex in the City? Like Amanda or Carrie or something like that? Like, I forget which one. The older one, the oldest one. Like, y'all didn't invent this. Stop pretending like y'all invented this. Stop pretending like Kelly Bundy didn't exist years before. Oh, Samantha. Okay. Like Kelly Bundy didn't exist like well before that. Hell, you can even go back as far as Blanche. You can even go back as far as Blanche on the Golden Girls, who was old when the Golden Girls was a show, which was way back when, and she was talking about way back winter. Like the whole slutty blonde trope has been around since forever. Stop trying to say that, oh yes, we invented promiscuity. Y'all didn't. This is another non-bright idea that y'all got from white women. I'm not saying that it's something wrong with black women being promiscuous, And yes, I would take a good fuck in a freezer, just like the next man. No, it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of doing it for attention makes you look stupid. Well, you think you accomplished something? You didn't accomplish shit. Each and every single woman with a vagina has access to penis, particularly southern penis. And y'all are just saying, oh, you're just doing it for a story to tell, thinking that y'all sound interesting. It's not interesting when you tell the story. It's interesting when I tell the story because it's an accomplishment. Like it's the thrill of the hunt. That's like a zebra telling the story about the time that he got eaten by a lion. It's not that big of a it's not that big of a deal. You're stupid. All right. Which one is Charlotte? I don't know these broads. I watched it from time to time with my mom. I watched one episode. I think it was with my mom. So yeah, when you sometimes you just do stuff for the sake of your mom. Like every now and again, I go to bingo for my grandma. And I watched Get Sex in the City with my mom. So this particular episode, what's her name? Samantha. Samantha was dating a black guy, and she was just elated. He was like the greatest thing since sliced vagina to her, right? And she was just happy. And then he had this sister, and his sister said to Samantha something to the effect of, I need you to stay your white ass away from my brother. I prefer to see him with one of my own. And then, she wanted to be politically correct. So she backed off a bit. And then she just went back and was like, who the fuck are you to tell me who I can and can't fuck? And then Samantha checked her on it. And I think they got into a fight. I'm not sure. This is a long, long time ago. And then what happened after that was interesting because then the dude went to Samantha and was like, my sister was like my mother or some crap like that. And then he broke up with her on his sister's say so. And I was like, what in the entire fuck? This simple ass nigga. Negro. What type of is your sister? And see, here's the thing, fellas. here's the thing that you should realize. And fortunately, I realized it at a younger age. Not as young as I wish I had realized it, but younger still. What you need to realize is that they are not going to fill in the gaps, so to speak, or they're not going to give you a gap to fill in. Is your sister going to say, okay, here is an equally attractive Black woman, and she's also hypersexual, that I'm going to give you to replace the void that is now your penis? Like, she's not going, they never do that. They never do that. They tell you who not to stick your penis in, but they never offer a equal or somewhat equal replacement. Now, imagine if somebody did this with work, right? Let's just say that you work for Google, or let's just say you work for Google. You have a nice, high-paying job. The same people that will come to you and say, "Oh, I can't believe you working for this white establishment," and blah 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 blah. It's like, wait a minute. If you are not going to give me an equivalent job, then shut up. Or somewhat reasonably within the range, then shut up. I sell incense. I sell incense and body oils. Like, look, dude, it's not that type of party. I like my job. Shut up. So, but yeah, that's one episode that stuck with me. That's one episode of that stuck with me. Now we're gonna go to what brought this up. Like I say, this all stems from a comment in the chat room. And here, I'm going to show y'all. Hit the like button. Okay, so basically, she was talking, blizz, blaz, and ham. I say, have you ever asked a Black man and listened to his answer instead of speculating? And somebody said, ask what? Don't need to listen to y'all. Listen to Black women. We've listened to y'all long enough. Okay. So I'm going to play this video about what they were talking about. Because to be perfectly frank, I forgot. But I do see a fat woman crying because she's fat. And look at this. That's another thing about fat women. They're never the right temperature. So if you find yourself in a relationship with one, then what will happen is your air conditioning bill will go up, and you're going to be cold at night. You're going to be cold at night because it takes a lot more air. You know, like, it could be snowing outside, and these chicks will have a window open and stuff. You know, having the snowflakes just land right on them and stuff, just to keep them cool. They're never the right temperature. Like, if y'all ever notice, like they'll be like outside in the balcony while everybody else is like in the warm of the house or something. That's because they're fat. They have a natural puff coat on, and that's why she is like 3 inches away from the air conditioner right there.
Building y'all up, and then y'all leave us for other motherfucking people.
They keep thinking, well, damn, what can I do? Nothing.
And so that's what I was saying in the chat room. She was like, y'all keep saying, what can we do? Nothing. Like, no, if you ask me, what can you do? I would say, lose weight, start taking relationships seriously at a younger age. So you're not 40 talking about whole phases, you know, and act like you got some damn sense.
I woke up like this. Hello, everyone. I'm Cerebral, and this is Cerebral Talks TV. And I often do not like to talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. Not really, because I do not agree with a lot of his talking points. Some of them I do, some of them I have said. And I understand that Dr. Umar Johnson, he does want to see Black men and women in America do better, but he does have some views that I feel are problematic. I did not know that he had children, that he did not marry the baby mamas. I think he has 2 children, and he's always promoting the Black man being with the Black woman doing right and all that other stuff. And he does have a lot of views where I feel he can be a prejudiced person, and I'm not a prejudiced person. And
here's how the average.
Dang it.
You know what I'm saying? Black people will say, well, we can't be racist. Okay.
By the way, she goes into a category that I call fat but light-skinned. And this is the same thing with L'Oreal. There are some light-skinned women, particularly, well, I'm gonna stop thumping on the South, but there's some light-skinned women who feel that it cancels out. It cancels out. Like, well, yeah, I'm fat, but I'm light-skinned, so it evens out. Like, wait, what? Yeah, it's balanced, I'm fat, but I'm light-skinned, so it evens out. Like, that's not how that works. So she falls in that category. The fact that she played her intro song, like I woke up like this, it's like, then go back to sleep, bitch. Like, what is that a good thing? Like, go back to sleep. You're not done. You're not done with the process. If that's how you woke up, then go back to sleep. It's kind of like, if you try to bake a cake, which I did Thanksgiving, and it comes back not correct, and you put it in and make it some more. I don't bake good. But yeah, I woke up like this, man.
Okay, I'll use the word prejudice then. And he's been saying a few things in his podcast about why some Black men go to white women. Baby, y'all have been dating white women and having relations with white women for a very long time. Many Black men will change their reasons as to why. First, they said they're getting white men back for slavery. Then it moved to, she submits.
That is a stupid reason. Yes, I do have them pick cotton. For those of you who are new here, subscribe. But as I was saying earlier, I do get a thrill of watching white women who I've slept with pick up some Q-tips or something like that. That's just how I get down. That doesn't mean like I'm like, oh, let's just get back for slavery, because my penis isn't a punishment. My penis is not a punishment. So, I mean, it's a reward. So why would I reward the white man who's not participating in this act for slavery? That doesn't make sense. I will give her the benefit of the doubt because some Black men are simply stupid, but I don't think that that's what's going on here.
And listens. Then it turned to, her hair, no weave, which they do wear. Then it turned to this. Then it turned to, y'all are fat. Then it turned, it's always a reason. And the whole reason.
Yeah, if it's at my house, which I try to avoid, then yeah, it would be Q-tips I bought. But if it's at her house, it's Q-tips that she bought. Yeah.
is because they don't want a Black woman. Okay. That is what it boils down to. Black men have even had, discrimination within our race, the Black race, when it comes to Black women. Okay. We know this is a real thing that does exist. Okay. And Black men have been playing Black women mentally for a long time. I told you to let go and to stop caring because nothing you do will ever be good enough. I told you this. It doesn't even.
No, losing weight, getting a pleasing personality, yeah, fit, feminine, and friendly will be good enough. What are you talking about?
Even matter if they find you cute or attractive, they will still try to make you pay, still play mental games with you, still compare you to other Black women and white women, always complaining and whining because the Black man is angry. He's angry at himself. He's angry at his position within society. He doesn't know what to do. So
no, I'm angry at all the fat ass bitches that are in our community. See, I'm not angry with myself. I never look at myself and say, GC, you done piss me off. Well, I guess from time to time. Like if I miss a workout like I did last night, because I was on a damn phone. Like I'm angry then. Like if I don't get certain short-term things accomplished, then yeah, I'm angry at myself then. But I'm not beating myself up. But these are not like Black men specific things. They're not. Nowhere in that realm. There's nothing about my Blackness that makes me angry. You want to know who's angry at himself? The men that smashed her. The men that smash her has to be angry with themselves. They have to say something. They have to tell themselves like, oh, dang, I actually did that. Which is really, it's more regret than anything, than anger with yourself. But yeah, that's what she's talking about. And that's what that is. This is Fiona. This is Fiona dipped in chocolate from Shrek and Fiona, even right down to the teeth. This is something this is a fairy tale gone wrong. This is a 404 error in a fairy tale. This, if you were playing Mario Brothers and this is what happened at the end, you would treat it as a dragon and you would step on it or you would spit on it. You and I'm not talking about spit on it like a mean thing. I'm talking about like spit on it because Mario, he spit fire. You would spit fire on it. You would like, oh crap. There's another Koopa. If she was at the top of King Kong, you would not eat like, oh, I'm not jumping barrels for this bitch. That's what you would not King Kong, Donkey Kong. If she was at the top on Donkey Kong, you would say, oh, well, this game isn't worth playing. And you would think that she is the one.
So he takes it out on the Black woman and keeps trying to make you work to prove your love, prove your loyalty, prove why I should be with you. Oh, now some random white women are messing with me. Now I can leave you. Prove yourself, Black woman. Prove yourself. Prove yourself. And y'all are going around in circles playing mental gymnastics in a game you will never win with them.
Does it look like she's ever tried to prove herself or to improve herself? Why are they making it seem like, but okay, and this is why they stay stagnant as far as like sexual marketplace value, is because they tell themselves that if you try, you will still lose. So why try? That's the logic. That's the logic. If you try, you will fail. So why even try? That's what they try to get you with. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because they don't try, meaning that they don't succeed, meaning that, they don't get a particular goal accomplished. And speaking of goal, my goal is to get more likes. So hit that button. Hit that like button. All right. Now, and I hate to do this. But it must be done. It must be done. So I'm gonna stop the screen for a second. And for those of you who know what the 80s like, or who don't know what the 80s was like, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. This is what the 80s was like. This is a game called Donkey Kong. I was a child of the 80s. And I thought that whatever type of primate this was, I thought that this was a donkey because I didn't grow up on a farm or anything. I thought that this was a donkey, and I thought donkeys were primates. Like, how would I know? Like, only time I seen a donkey was in this context. And yeah. So yeah. Anyway, which character looks more like the woman speaking? I'm going to repeat this. Which character looks more like the woman speaking? The donkey or the princess? Why is it that when black men don't like their undesirable behavior, it's because we hate them and ourselves? Yeah, exactly. But they can just not like certain behaviors. Meanwhile, they are the ones not needing black men. Exactly. They're all over the place. And that's because they don't listen. They just stand at the top of buildings throwing barrels down at black men. That's what they do. Let's keep it a buck. Press 1 in the chat room if you had a bitch that looked like this throw a barrel at you. That is what they do. They stand on top of a construction site throwing barrels down at black men who are trying to sleep with white women. That is what they do. If you try to climb the construction site to get to this white woman here, they will throw a barrel at you, and they will continue to do so. And you got to ask yourself, 1, what's in the barrel? 2, how does she have so many of them? And 3, why is she doing that? Now back to the topic at hand. Thanks a lot, King Adams. Appreciate you. Look at this barrel chucking bitch. And so all of all the reasons why we wouldn't be interested in this woman, she's like, oh no, it's because there's something wrong with the mentality of black men. No, it's the obvious. And that's why I don't go to New York. Melody's like, oh, remember the Alicia Keys song, New York? No, that's not New York. They not like Alicia Keys there. It's a bunch of people with air conditioners that they smash down on the window that could fall on you at any time. And it's a bunch of women like this on top of like high-rise buildings throwing barrels down at people. And they piss in the project elevators. Like that's what a New York project is. It's a bunch of pissy elevators and a bunch of barrel chucking bitches. No, I'm not going to go. I dated a chick from New York. You want to know what she told me? She told me that that crackheads bag groceries. That crackheads bag groceries. She was like from Queens or something like that.
They always have an excuse as to why you're not being picked. Then they will lie and say, well, when we do get married, we marry Black women, but only like 30% of them even get married. They barely get married. But Black men are always playing with y'all. They're always playing with you. Nothing you do is good enough. It never has been. It never will be.
What have you done?
And y'all won't wake up.
What have you done? What have you done besides being light-skinned that we disapproved of? What effort have you made that we say, oh, no, that's not good enough? You have made no effort. You have made no reasonable effort for us to even say that that's not good enough. It's not like you ever cooked. It's not like you ever cooked some banana pudding. Well, you don't cook banana pudding, but it's not like you ever made some banana pudding and he tasted it and said, that's not good enough. You never did anything, and your nothing is not good enough.
So I'm going to be quiet. Let's see what she has to say about what Umar Johnson recently has been saying on the podcast. I've seen it, and I already knew it was a bunch of bull crap. Come on with it. Let's see this clip.
Yo, I just watched a clip of Dr. Umar on this podcast, and I am so pissed right now. Dr. Umar, if you ain't Dr. Umar, y'all can scroll. Do me one mother favor, because I got so much respect for you. Stop pushing this goddamn narrative that Black women are not interested in a Black man that's in progress. That is such bullshit. That is probably the biggest.
It's not a lie. You're not a woman. You're not a woman. Listen to me and listen to me good. Oh, crap. I got to. Hold on right quick. All right, I'm back. Listen to me and listen to me good. Fat women are not women and therefore don't deserve our love or respect. I'm going to repeat that. Fat women are not women and therefore don't deserve our love or respect. You're not a woman. When Dr. Umar says women don't support Black men on a come up, he's not talking about you. I know I wouldn't be, because you don't count. You don't count. You're a stepping stool on a man's journey to better women. And I'm not talking about racially better women. I'm talking about aesthetically more pleasing women. You are a stepping stool. You are something that you are part of a process. You know, kind of like you graduate third grade, like third grade is meant, it's a lower level that's meant to, prepare you for something better and better and better, and like the Megan Goods of the world are the PhDs, but you are a step stool to better vagina. That's what you are. At best, the smarter kids skip third grade. That's what you are. But hold on. I'm multitasking. Okay. All right. Anyway, better women. He's talking about your betters. He's talking about the women that actually look worth a damn, because those are the only ones that count. And he's saying that they don't support men on the come up.
Load of bullshit I've ever heard. The reason why we don't want to fuck with y'all when y'all ain't got shit is because you're not fucking loyal. You're not loyal. It ain't never had shit to do with money.
We're not loyal to you. We're not loyal to you. Okay. I'm going to keep it a buck. We're not loyal to anyone. At least I'm not. Let's just stick with me. I'm not going to put a stigma on other brothers. I'm not loyal. And the times that I have found myself to be loyal was for two basic reasons. For one, well, no, I'll save that one for last. The primary times that I've been loyal is because I was just too lazy to look for more booty. True story. I was simply too lazy to look for more booty. So this happens when a woman made herself so available so quickly that I just, and I'm not talking about somebody ugly. I'm talking about, you know, like reasonably attractive woman. She made herself so available so quickly that I lost all motivation to hunt. Like, she just made it like, you know, there's no need to hunt. There's you know, there's meat right here. And it just was constantly there. Like every time I'm hungry, you know, it's like it's constantly there. So so that was that. That's most of the time that I remained faithful. It was just as a matter of it was so easier to be faithful. I kid you not. And I was looking for opportunity. But what it came down to was, do I really want to holla at this chick, get her number, call her, have some BS conversation for hours, meet up with her, date her, you know, and then like re-interview for sex? Like, do I, you know, like the steps? Do I really want to go through the steps and process, even though I you know, my mind and my penis tells me to do that? But what happens is, during the process, I smashed this chick 3 times, you know, the one who is accessible. And I really just lose focus. I really just lose focus. That's reason number 1 that I've remained faithful. Reason number 2 is because I'm with a woman who's significantly prettier than I am handsome. And she set a new bar, a new standard. So, which isn't commonly available to me. So when that happens, it's like, you know, I mean, like when you're with a 9.2, all of a sudden an 8, who 8s are great, but an 8 don't look as shiny anymore. You know, like when you're with a 6, then an 8 looks like, ooh, you know, it looks like heaven. But when you're with like a 9.2, and the 8s don't look as great. And since, you know, it's not many 9.2s that just come up to you and say, hey, you want to fuck in the freezer? You know, it's, you tend to just be faithful, even though you don't have faithful intentions. So yeah, those are the scenarios when that happens. None of that applies to you. None of that applies to this chick. Men are always going to look for somebody more attractive. So it is incumbent for a woman to be as hot as she can possibly be for my penis long term. King Adams again, I appreciate you. He says, they consider marching in the streets someone monumental. Marching in the streets, some monumental feat, and doing the most for Black men. Listen, I do not care. I do not care because I'm freaking alive. I do not, listen to me and listen to me good. I do not give a shit. You are not going to, you know, you could march all through April, and in June I still won't fuck you. Like, what in the hell? We marched for you. What the? You think that earns you anything? You think that earns you anything? What if I was to do that in reverse? What if I was to go to a Black woman and say, you know, hey, I voted for Kamala Harris, and say, suck my dick? Like, Think about that for a second. I do not care. That means nothing. Even if it was me that y'all was marching for, I truly do not care. All that marching and they don't lose weight. Yeah, exactly. That's the only exercise they get is marching in April. I'll say, when has it changed? Nothing in regards to the condition of the black men. Listen, the worst condition of a black man is the black women. The worst condition of a black man is the black women. The black community is like a football team. It's like a really good football team with crappy cheerleaders. And somebody could just look at that team and say, you know something, the worst thing about this football team is its cheerleaders. So I went to a primarily Asian but dominantly black high school in Oakland. And what I noticed, and Asian girls wasn't really into it, I think because many of them were first generation American. What I noticed is that the cheer squad was volunteer. And trust me, we had attractive young ladies on our cheer squad. I'm not downing them. But it was volunteer, meaning that anybody could just get in. Any woman, of course. Oh, I think they had male cheerleaders. Actually, no, we didn't. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, we didn't have male cheerleaders. I do know that they exist, but it's we just didn't have them. And I think like back then they had like a bunch of like shows like what's that? Clueless. That wasn't a show, that was a movie. Like Stacey, you know, they made it clear that for whites, being a cheerleader was like the highest honor that a woman could be, and only few of them could do it. And they had to like be on pyramids and do like ninja flips. And then in college, they had cheer camps, and it was a bunch of white high schools where the girls came, you know, like for the weekend or for the summer or something like that, and did just that and practiced just that. So I was like, dang, we really got the crappy end of cheerleaders. They refuse to be wives, be the wives that we want. Exactly. Yeah, Clueless did have a show, and Stacey Dash was bad. She was actually badder than, who was that bride? Was that Reese Witherspoon? Who was the blonde chick in Clueless? But Stacey Dash was hotter, and I don't think I'm saying that because I'm black. I think that was just a general consensus.
We've been taking care of y'all. We've been investing in y'all. We've been building.
Invest in a salad.
Y'all up, and then y'all leave us for other motherfucking people. Then y'all throw other women in our faces. Y'all never married a girl.
We don't throw them in our face. Oh, really? That was Alicia Silverstone? Is she alive? Hold on. Okay, she's alive. What else have I seen her in? She looked familiar. Like I seen her in a movie that I thought was interesting. But not recent, like a classic type movie. Hold on, I'm just looking at her IMDb. Give me a second, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Oh, she was in Beauty Shop. Well, I don't remember her from that. Is that the girl from Hustle and Flow? Is that what I'm thinking? Oh, Batman and Robin. Okay, that's what it was. All right. So yeah. So, but anyway, Stacey Dash was hotter, and she likely still is. But all right, let's move on. And that's how of little importance what this fat bitch has to say is to me. Because I'm not thinking about her. I'm thinking about Alicia Silverstone and Stacey Dash. Your words aren't important. But listen, we're not throwing them in their face. Nobody is doing that, like the swirlers do, and they just look foolish. But black men aren't like, nah, look at my white chick. We're not doing that. That's in your imagination.
Girl that builds you up. You never get a black woman gives you y'all up. She could be dark skinned. Next thing we know, you with a light skin. She could be fat. Next thing we know, you with a skinny. So
that's because that's what we like. We like skinny. And instead of giving us what we want, like you see what wins any guy. Like there's a lot of fake chubby chasers in this world. And this is from a guy who was homeless. I don't know if you're new here, subscribe. I used to be homeless. Like a lot of people, especially young people, when the first .com bubble burst in the 90s, I was homeless in the 90s, early 2000s. So, and yes, an easy way out would be to find some project apartment with a chick that looked like this and do god awful things. But I said to myself, homelessness was not bad. I slept in my car. I went to school, went to work, and I showered at the gym. And yes, there's worse things than being homeless. And she's one of them. Absolutely. But not every man feels that way. So they do that until they reach a certain level and can afford their own place. Actually, I have to switch universities, but until whenever they fix their problem, and then they leave for a slimmer woman.
Stop this fucking narrative.
Well, I definitely could feel her frustration about basically how they are hypocrites and they contradict themselves. Okay.
Oh,
how they oftentimes will say things that they don't want.
It's not a hypocrisy. That's a lie, sweetie. I mean, if you think that black men are innately bad for lying to get something that they want from you, then I hate to tell you about life. Like, life is going to be a very disappointing thing. It is.
But then they go and do that. For example, men who say, I don't want a woman who wears makeup, but yet you keep cheating on your woman with.
We don't want a chick who's ugly underneath the makeup. We don't want a chick who is ugly underneath the makeup. Yes, listen. Yes, we tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to repeat that. We tell you what you want to hear to get what we want from you. I have no shame in doing that. I'm an honorable man. I don't think that that's a dishonorable thing to do. Listen, and here's why. I don't respect you as people. If I lie to you, it's typically because I feel that you do not deserve honorable treatment from me. It's because you have said or did something, and without knowing it, and I have come to the conclusion that you are a horrible human being. And therefore, I am not going to bound myself with the rules of ethics and morality because I don't find you to be an ethical or moral person. And I'll give you an example, because it's not just fat women that I put into this category. Women, and they do it all the time. You could be out with a woman, and she's dating you, and something happens, and she says, yes, I have a kid. That's 3-4 years old. This happened. It's a true story. And I said, oh, okay. I was like, what is she with her dad? I'm like, no, she's at home sleep. And right then and there, trash. I do not have to be honest with you. I don't have to respect you. And anything I do, ethically, to there's no bounds of ethics. I'm going to get what I want from you, or I'm going to work to get what I want from you, using any tactic that some may consider to be unethical, and I would consider to be unethical, but not as it pertains to you, to get what I want from you. You are a terrible human being. And there you have it. I don't respect you as people.
Women who wear makeup, and that's who's on your screensaver, that's whose Instagram you go to, because that is the woman that you actually want. But for some weird reason, you want your woman to not wear it, because I guess you don't want her to feel pretty, even though being pretty naturally, but you don't want her to spruce herself up. You don't want her to feel herself, get a big head. You don't want her to have attention from other men and all of that. The woman you actually want and desire is the woman you're telling her not to be. As far as the whole thing, I mean, Black men don't have to like one skin shade of Black women. We are diverse as women, but I get it. Some of them who say they're so pro-Black and the melanin this, melanin that, and then once they get some money, then they dump you, and then you see them with a woman that wasn't necessarily what they said they wanted. Okay, that does happen with a number of Black men. A lot of Black men, they will use you for your resources, which you can do. A lot of Black men talk about Black women.
Listen, it is a damn shame. First of all, look at the background. Look at the drapes. It doesn't seem like this woman has a whole bunch of resources. I'm going to repeat this. It doesn't look like she has a whole bunch of resources. So all she can do, all she is capable of doing, is giving resources to men with less resources than her. Like when I was homeless. That's all she is capable of doing. That's all she is worthy of doing. So she needs to increase her worth. Beauty is a resource of which she is poor. She don't have that much resource. Kind of like California is a oil poor state, and Texas is wealthy in that particular resource. She don't have the resource of beauty, nor is she even drilling for it, nor is she even trying to get it. She's just whining that we treat her like a fat ugly broad. It's like, well, what do you expect? Pretty privilege is just that. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to have first right of refusal to my penis. That's what it is. All right. So enough of this. Let me get to the topic at hand. All right. So the trophy wife is back. Somebody sent me a clip, but before I get into, or really it's a video, not a clip. Oh, what's her name was in the Wonder Years. Cool. I did have a crush on Winnie Cooper. Looking back on it, I don't know why. But yeah. Winnie Cooper and Topanga was two white girls that could get it. Especially Topanga, damn. Way back when. All right. Let me oh, that's what I want to go to her. Okay, so I went to the Chicks community tab and I'm gonna see if it's moved. It was like 9413 or something like that. Let me see if it's moved since the last time I've been here. Oh no, it hasn't. So here, let me show y'all something. And this is like since last night. So for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about the new trophy wife here. So her GoFundMe is $9,431. And it hasn't moved since last night. So she did like a whole 4-hour tour, you know, talking about Blizz Blast and Him Ham, and it was a whole pity party and stuff like that. And this still hasn't moved. And which to me is a good thing, because what it's saying is that society at large is a lot less reluctant to just go off of face value. Now, keep in mind that, you know, the Brick Lady, she got like 30 to 40,000, and we're going to cover her too. The Brick Lady got like 30 to 40,000, and she got a lot less than that. A lot less than that. Which means that people are like, hey, I'm not just going to give money willy-nilly because, you know, big butt and a smile. And because you have a sad story. So people are, you know, less likely to believe sad stories anymore. And like I say, it hasn't moved since last night. So the last one she received was $50 from Anonymous, and that was a day ago. So yeah. Yeah, that's, you know, people are less likely to believe sad stories. Now, she did a video last night. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't watch it, and I'm not going to watch it, just to be clear. I'm going to do what I did last night, and I'm going to spot watch it. Okay. I'm going to spot watch it and see what happens. And see if just something interesting happens. And the reason that I'm not going to watch it, quite frankly, is because it was boring as hell. That's what it comes down to. It was boring as I don't know what. It just droned on for hours. And this isn't a shot at the people who did the show. I'm not sure if it's her, but, you know, like all these are The View and, you know, the estrogen and stuff like that. I don't like that. I don't like women fake crying for hours, talking about, oh yes, it was such a traumatic experience because he broke up with me because I have braces. I don't want to hear that shit. I do not want to hear that for a prolonged period of time. I do not. It was annoying. You know, I felt my penis shrieking just by watching it. It was just terrible. It was just terrible. All right, here we go. It's on the show, but I mean, if y'all want to check it out, if y'all like that type of thing, then it's on a show called Hardly Initiated. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch the comments. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch the comment section.
Because my mom was working.
Take your time.
It left the door open. A neighbor's wife was supposed to be.
Okay, so I don't want to hear crap.
And I want to go back because I don't want to just breeze past this incident that happened at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Now you get
Probably like a few weeks. It wasn't long. It wasn't long at all. And I still consider him a friend to this day. Like,
wow.
He's still a good friend.
And how old was he?
He was a few years older than me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. And that was your first child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just to confirm, before you met your now husband, how many children did you have?
2.
Okay. So when did you have your second child?
I had my second child with someone I knew from high school. I had known him. He went to a different high school from me, but I forget how we met. I think at the library we met. And my mom liked him. He was nice. And I actually ended up moving back home after things didn't work out with my oldest son's father. And I actually saw him when we were working somewhere together. I had gotten a new job and
Okay. I didn't hear this part before. Something sounds strange because there's this guy that she got impregnated by and they decided to break up, but we're still cool. First of all, it's always a red flag when you break up with somebody that you're still cool with. Well, I've done that, but it's a red flag when kids are involved. It's like, basically what you're saying is, yes, I can tolerate this person. Yes, this is a good, decent human being that don't pay child support. But I just don't want him in my house and in the child's life. That's what you're saying.
He happened to be working there too. And it was just like, oh my gosh, hey, and, we started a relationship and my son came about and yeah.
So at this point, you, I'm assuming 1920, you got 2 children. And from my understanding, your sister now,
Well, I would say, no, I was like 21 when I got pregnant or around the time. I remember when I turned 21, I think I was pregnant. I couldn't even drink on my 21st birthday. So I was pregnant with my son.
Okay. Not one wet tear. Saw the damn sniffling. Yeah, she got the roll of tissue there.
Second son.
And what is your mother at this point communicate?
That's kind of janky. Great studio, but it's kind of janky that y'all don't have Kleenex. Y'all don't have Kleenex. She literally wipes her face with the same thing people wipe their ass with. Just saying. Now, to be fair, I don't have Kleenex either. In my house, I don't have any Kleenex. But I don't cry. So I wouldn't be wiping my face with the same thing I wipe my ass with. That hasn't come up. So yeah, maybe I should get some just in case like something happened and I gotta sulk about it. But yeah, she's wiping her face. Same thing she wipes with people watch it. They ass with.
To you about men?
My mother has always told me that you need to be very careful about men in general. And I don't want to paint every man in a bad light, but there can be a predatory side that.
Why this bitch got a water bottle with a straw in it? How fake bougie can a bitch be? Wow. How fake bougie can a bitch be? Somebody gave her a bottle of water. And she's like, excuse me, could you give me a straw? We're about to talk about, SA, and I really need a straw for this water.
some men do not control and do not want to control, and that's the dangerous part.
And where was your father at this point in time in your life?
Nowhere around. I mean, he had threatened my mother that if she tried to even get child support from her, that he would end her and her family members.
Wow.
So he was nowhere.
Okay, so you now at the point, you got 2 young boys, and are you?
Wait a minute. She's saying that her father. Wait, let me go back, because I don't know if they were talking about her father or. Let's see.
Had threatened my mother that if she tried to even get child support from her, that he would end her and her family.
So that's what I thought, because she did say that she was born because her father raped her mother. The father that you still know about, something is not making sense. Now, I'm thinking that he's talking about statutory rape, a situation where he's 18 and she's 17. And, which I think should not be against the law, but it is. Now, of course, 17 and 35 is a whole different thing. I was talking to somebody about that last night, but I don't think that's the case with the father. It does seem like it was consensual. She just didn't have the ability to consent. But you presented it on your show as if it was something else. You presented it on your show as if, some guy in a mask met your mama in an alley and just took it and took off. And then said, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And then years later, he turned into the Joker. Like, that's what you made it seem like. That is what I envisioned in my head when you was telling the story. But really, it's like 2 people had consensual activities, one of whom was not legally able to consent.
Family members.
Wow.
So he was nowhere.
Okay, so you now at the point, you got 2 young boys, and are you at this point, after your second pregnancy, are you considering dating? Are you having conversations? Kind of what direction you want to take your life? What's happening?
After things didn't work out with my second son's father, and it was that Christmas that I told you where I was like, I really need to create a family for my children. Gotcha. And, just do things the right way. And I knew I wanted more children. I love my babies. I think I'll have another one in 10 years, maybe. But right now, that's just not on my mind at all. I have 5 beautiful babies, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of them. And they're my reason and my purpose. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, you fine. I just wanted to get an idea of what kind of inspired you to get back into the dating market, which sounds like you wanting to start a family.
It was that.
Start fresh.
It was that. Just wanting to find a good man that I could respect because of the type of women that were in my family, very high achievers, and just really everyone in my family has been a very high achiever. That
somebody says, how old is she? Which is a good question, because I could have swore like the number 23 came up, but she can't have a 9-year-old son at that age and have the story pan out as she described. So, but generally the chat room doesn't believe her. Did she file a police report? Which is good. I'm glad that, unlike with the Cosby, let's just call it what it is, lynching, that people are really saying like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. People are actually second guessing, and they're actually working under the innocent until proven guilty thing. Shout out to Jay-Z. I'm getting similar reactions from him. Like, listen, people are liars. I'm glad that society does not seem to be on the believe all women hype that they was. And this is a huge shift from just like 5 years ago. This is a huge shift in a very short period of time. All right, so let me see.
That I had a certain expectation of what a husband should look like. And also, you know, finding certain content. I don't know if I should even talk about any of that.
Well,
but
I think you should, because all of that influences how you think and how you particularly.
So here's a couple. She ain't right. Spiritually, it feels off. 3 baby daddies. No wonder she's playing the victim role. She got to come up with an excuse. Single mother upbringing. Did she mention that she was willfully got pregnant at 17? She said that on her video. Yeah, exactly. She did. Well, she also said that her mother told her to look for a breeder, but then she tried to paint her mother in a better light later on. You know, my mother's a PhD, and we come from a long line of strong, responsible women. Your mother told you to find a breeder. So yeah, it's not adding up. So people are seeing through the BS. I'm glad. I'll catch the next episode. She busy. She is not lying. Things like this happen. So does that mean it's true? Just because things like something happen, that doesn't mean it's true, that it happened in this particular case and instance. Like every now and again, regular guys get to smash Chloe Bailey. Every now and again. That doesn't mean I did. If I were to tell y'all that, I would be lying. Like it's not, you know, hey, things like that happens, I'm sure. But that doesn't mean that it happened to me.
How you go about dating.
Okay.
And you know, right now it is still very much so a gender war. Both men and women are confused about how to date and how to make decisions.
Yeah.
And I think everything and anything that influenced you at that time is important to share.
Well, I had shared this before, that I stumbled across a very
Exactly. I graduated Harvard. Like, did you really know? But things like that happens. What the fuck? Therefore, I'm not lying.
very important content creator that I think everyone knows as the hypergamous queen. You know, her videos are shared, sprinkle videos everywhere.
I just learned about the sprinkle. I didn't know about it.
So a lot of people are new to this, but I was true to it because I was following before there was 100,000 subscribers, like me and my sisters, and you know,
that's Shira7.
Shira7, yes.
And I recently checked out her page, thousands and thousands of views, and she's been doing it for a very long time.
For sure.
Yes. So I was telling every woman that I met in.
Now this is interesting because when I seen this last night, I thought that this had because it was late, you know, eyes was blurry and stuff, and somebody sent salute to Kevin Murray. I think you're the one that sent this to me. So he sent it to me. I got it kind of late, and I thought that it had 400K plus views, but really that's how many subscribers they have. So of those subscribers, it only has 35,000, 394 views, which tells me that, listen, people don't believe you. So it's just a bullshit story that nobody is really like interested in.
Person, like, you know, there's a content creator that makes really good content just about, really, it seemed like how women could take their power back is how it felt. That's how it felt at the time.
Yeah. So that when you
take your power back. So you're trying to have power over somebody?
So you went from a place of not wanting marriage at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started to want marriage. Was she a part of the reason?
I believe that, you know what? Probably. And I hate to say that, but probably it just seemed more secure for a family. It just seemed right. It just seemed more stable, like we would be on a solid foundation. And I prayed to God about it because, you can subscribe to certain things that people talk about, but you don't have to subscribe to everything that they talk about. And I've always had a relationship with God, and Jesus is the one true Lord. And I prayed about it and asked God to send me the right man. It wasn't just about what he had. It was never.
So does this mean God don't like you? I wonder, did you pray for the right man before or after you became a baby mama? Through fornication and sin. I prayed for God. I prayed to God that he sends me the right man. Really? I wonder, what did he pray for?
About what he had. Because if it was about that, I had a lot of other options with more. And it was really about how he treated my children. Because he seemed to love my boys. And he said, oh, those are my boys. You remind me of my mom. She was a single mom with 2 boys. And I would just love to help you and be there for you and be the man you guys need. Oh my gosh.
So you know what? I want.
By the way, when I talk about doing immoral stuff to get what I want from immoral people, this is exactly that. If I had met her 23, attractive, with 2 kids, if she had told me, yeah, I have 2 kids, because I was looking for a breeder. One of them I had when I was 17, the other one when I was 21. I'm still cool with the first child's father. We're still friends, but he don't have to pay child support. That's the next guy's responsibility. Read yours. And the other guy, he's in jail. Yeah, he's in jail. So he's not paying child support either. I will say the exact same thing that her husband said. Oh, wow, yes, my mother is a single mom and you remind me so much of her because I have a strong desire to fuck my mother. What the fuck? I would say something to that effect. I would say something like, all I want to do is be stepdaddy to your lovely kids for the rest of my life and take care of you, and pick up the slack where their fathers have failed. I would say that until I smash 23 to 26 times. And that would be the end of that. And I would have no remorse in doing so. This is prime pump and dump. She is a cutie. This would be prime pump and dump. And I sleep well at night doing stuff like that.
Before we actually get deep into this situation that took place with your husband, I think it's important to, talk about the impact. I'm actually happy you shared that because, we had that we had a debate just the other night where that was a part of the conversation because who you watch and learn from, that's discipleship. That's mentorship.
Oh my goodness.
That's who you are, in submission to.
Yes.
Under their leadership.
You know what? That's so true.
The thing about it is now when you're discipling under somebody to make the most important decision in your life, this is how I choose my partner.
They all blizz blaz and ham.
Initially jump right into online dating. I just, men would try to talk to me at the grocery store, and normally I just wouldn't even pay attention to older men. But I just started to be a little bit more approachable, I guess, to men of an older age. And I ended up meeting the first older man that I dated. And it was a little bit odd at first because I just wasn't used to dating an older man. But because he treated me well, it became easy. You feel like a princess,
I'm curious to, you said I started doing things to make myself more approachable to older men. Like things like what? What makes you more approachable to an older guy?
Just like smile more, or, you can make a little more eye contact where normally if you don't go for a certain type, you're probably not even going to turn your head. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're not even going to look in their face. But, I was like, let me keep my options open. I always was attracted to men of color, so I typically stay in that range. But I was like, let me see about dating someone a little bit older. And
why is it always bras like this that's attracted to black men?
After I did, I was like, oh, I could do this. It's not too bad.
That's very, very honest of you, and that makes a lot of sense. And I want to ask the online aspect of it. Was that also part of the strategy, so to speak, to be able to identify men that might be a little bit older?
It wasn't at first. Okay. Actually, one of my older sisters said, why don't you just try online dating? She was like, it's not too bad. And I never had online dated, like not made any type of profile. Right. Because I was like, I don't want people that know me to see me on here, and it's kind of embarrassing. And, that's just was my thought process at the time. But then she was like, no, and my oldest sister, she's gorgeous. So it's not like she doesn't have in-person options. But she was like, just try it. And so I tried it, did a paid dating app because I feel like it would be a little bit more, smaller pool of better people. Exactly. And, I was able to meet, some good guys.
So how long after that first date, did you, because obviously he threw 2 months out. What happened after that first date? Did you guys continue exclusively dating?
Not really. I mean, we kind of dealt with each other, like talked, but I kind of was just talking to people. Like I kept my options open and just was letting people get to know me and taking.
Oh, now this is interesting. It says she was on a sugar baby website looking for stepdads to take care of her and those kids. So I didn't know that on sugar baby websites, women paid. I assume that it was only the potential sugar daddy that paid.
Things slow, not really rushing anything and not trying to get into a relationship at all. And I found that honestly, when I started dating older men, they wanted to rush into a relationship like immediately. On the first date, they were like, I want you to be my woman. And I'm like.
And there's the onion. So I seen this part last night and I want to share that part with you because that's one of the more important parts. And that is, like, remember the fat chick was talking about, oh, men aren't serious. They don't want to commit, blah, 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 blah. But when you look like her, they have no problem. Like men with money have no problem getting with her with 2 kids. They have no problem. She had no problem finding what she was looking for in the age bracket. She had none. It was a wrap. She's married within 2 months, pregnant shortly after that. It was no problem at all. But the other chick who looked like Donkey Kong is like, yeah, y'all leave me for a skinny, light skin. You mean like her?
No, I don't even know you. And that's kind of just how I would, we need to get to know each other over a bit of time. And it turned out to be 6 months, not 2 months.
I think that is very interesting because, and initially when you told me about the things that, your husband at the time was or the guy you was dating at the time, the things that he was saying, I thought, well, that's, kind of strange for him to be saying those types of things. But based on your experience, you're saying that the older men, this was regular conversation.
Yes, they wanted to take me off the market right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Because look at you.
So at this point, 6 months goes down the line. And what is the transition from you now taking him?
So she just completely dispelled all the talk that Black women have when Black men don't want to commit. They, no matter what you look like, they don't want to commit. She just called bullshit on all that. On all that. So now what do they have to say?
I'm serious. What did you see? Because I know when it comes to the assessment of, deciding to be a husband, a lot of, what the noise is that, it was solely a financial decision that was made. What was what's the truth behind the decision? What did you see in him to actually make him your husband?
He was so good with my boys. He was so good with them. Even my oldest son responded to him in a way that he didn't respond to with my ex. And I paid attention to those little things because I would gladly leave a man if he didn't mesh well with my kids. And I had did that with the man that I was in a more serious relationship with right before we got married, because I had started, that was the man that we started looking at rings, and the relationship was, moving forward, and I had moved in.
There was another gentleman that you met, and I
Okay, and y'all see how boring this is. And this is what I was talking about. This is boring as hell. So I'm gonna end it with that. This chick comes on and does pseudo psychology, and because psychology should be done online in front of thousands. Like that's what a good therapist would do, And then this broad, I forget, it was just a bunch of stuff. It was just a bunch of flim flamming ham. Nobody was really questioning if it's true or not, except the chat room. So it's and then she fake cries some more, while still keeping her makeup intact. She gives her final words as the importance of psychiatry when she don't know shit. This interview hurt her more than it helped. Angela B said that. And it ends with her putting her Cash App up. So she does this full interview, and then she puts her Cash App up. And the reason that she put the Cash App up, as opposed to GoFundMe, is because GoFundMe is going to fact check this very soon, and they're going to see that she's full of shit. So they did another video. Oh wait, no, this is different. Okay, never mind. All right, so that's that. Let me move on to the Brit chick. I actually haven't seen this video. Cortez has sent this to me. So I will be watching it new with you. But apparently the brick face was on Anton Daniels or something. I don't know. I seen it this morning. Hold on. Good news. Okay, great. All right. I seen it this morning, or rather, I seen that, she was a hot topic on Anton Daniels. So something happened. Mediocre tutorial reviews covered, and I think that's what Cortez sent me. Not the media reviews, but the thing that he was covering. So it says Brick Bitch returns and triple downs on her lies. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. Yeah, this is the Anton Daniels interview. Dang, it's 26 minutes. When y'all send something long, yeah. When something long is being sent to me, give me a timestamp. Give me a decent timestamp. So I actually got to get to work, so can't stay on too much longer. Hit the like button. And here we go.
Back to back. Last night we had the Q show. I seen Quentin getting active in the chat last night. And I didn't know that she was gonna pull up. I don't know who's gonna be there until I pull up.
Yeah,
and so we had a lot of people that pulled up last night, including the Jazz chick. We had Jamisha, and we also had the Brick lady. All right. So let me give you all a little bit of insight on what happened as soon as we started the show last night. Let's see if I can jump into it. Seemed like 2K and the Brick lady started getting into it.
It's real cute, and I mean, it's more people going.
Unpaid labor that comes with having a woman in the house. You know, I'm you know, I've been married before. I'm single now, but if I had the opportunity to be a man, I would definitely pay all the rent because I know now I'm getting meals. Now I'm getting a clean house. Think about it. If you paid for a cleaner, and you paid for a chef, and you paid for a nanny, and you paid for a therapist, and you paid for that, that's far more than paying the bills.
So my girl,
unpaid labor unpaid labor. I think it all depends on what the woman is doing in the household. But if a woman is there,
Black women are stupid. Black women are stupid. In the sense that they spend, because what they're spending their 20s and their 30s doing is negotiating a better deal. So basically somebody put it in their head that you should get paid for the things that you already do. I'm like, okay, I could kind of see the logic in that as it stands by itself. But then they move into a territory of, I'm not going to get into a relationship until I get paid a certain amount to cook and clean, even though I cook and clean for myself. And really, I'm just like, I don't know, cooking an extra hot dog or boiling an extra hot dog or whatever, you know, like I should get paid an exorbitant amount for putting extra food in the skillet. Is their logic. So I'm like, okay, it automatically starts off as a hustle. They don't see, you know, your participation in buying the food as payment in and of itself, or being or just having a structured and healthy family. They don't see that as payment. No, they want cash. And then they wait for it. All the while they're cooking and cleaning for themselves, hopefully, for about 20 years before they realize, like, okay, now I just want some dick. Somebody said, a nanny, it's your kids. Yeah, they don't see it that way because they don't see kids as, they also only have kids to get paid. They look, I mean, and that's because we live in a country, a stupid country, that pays women to babysit their own kids. That's what welfare is. It's the government paying you to babysit your own damn kids. That's literally what that is. You are a foster parent to your own kids, except foster parents are inspected and there's criteria involved. That's not necessarily the case with welfare people.
there for you, doing the therapy, cooking the food, taking care of your kids, washing the clothes, doing all that stuff, that would cost you probably more than your whole income.
So Rhoda, so
now you get a house to live in as well.
Rhoda, this is a house that you got to build brick by brick, okay? You just don't get it because you here. All right, that's why I asked, how long do you wait before you hit that special?
That was funny. That was funny. Now, I could tell that he was holding it in for a while, but it was worth the wait. He's like, okay, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to sneak this one in. That was a good one. That was a brick load. What's her name? Something. It's blurry for me. This Q chick, she was cracking up. Everybody laughing. Yeah, that was hilarious. Anton is smirking.
Gok 3000. I feel like every dude should make a woman wait a
personally, I wouldn't date a man that's waiting for me to do something sexually for him to reward me any kind of way. I wouldn't date that. I wouldn't do that. And I will say this, okay? So I've been on my own since I was 16. I've been able to pay bills my whole entire life. I can pay bills by myself. To me, there's no incentive for me to live with a man if he's not paying the bills. I can take care of
And that's the thing. That is the problem with Black women, because they don't feel that having a healthy family is healthy. Families don't incentivize Black women. They don't move me. They're like Janet Jackson. So imagine this. Imagine being married to a woman for 10 years and you have healthy kids, in private school, everything, getting decent grades, not being pressured, and then she says, "What have you done for me lately?" Like, excuse me? What have you done for me lately? Like we're building a family together. Yeah, but what have you done for me? They don't, it doesn't move them. They do not value family the same way as other women.
100% on my own. But if I want to live with a man now, if you want me to pay, if you want a roommate, homie, just say that.
Rhoda, now hold on. Hear me out, because a couple years back, I was watching this woman. She got hit with a brick, and she was saying she need protection. So if you had a man, he probably wasn't paying rent, but he had protection for you. So
I think you're really trying to be funny.
And it went off the rails from there.
So he's not trying to be funny. He was being funny as hell. And he was making a point while being funny as hell. So Cortez, you was right. This whole thing is a clip. This whole thing is classic. Yeah. But yeah, for her to say, I need protection, and then demand somebody pays rent, it's like, whoa, okay.
So anybody that was watching the show last night knows that she then crashed out over a little bit of time. And I don't know if y'all had seen the show last night or whatever, but 2K started hitting her with them slide uppercuts, and then she crashed out from there. Any thoughts?
Who?
Yeah, he was hitting her with cinder blocks.
Thought it was a good idea to put her on a panel.
Somebody said, hell, Black women make horrible roommates, too, from what I heard. Okay, here's the thing. All of the crap that they got going on with them is focused on us and white women. So they probably would make horrible roommates to both us and to Black men and white women, or non-Black women. But I think that they would probably be decent roommates to Black women and possibly white guys. I actually don't know of a white guy that had a roommate that's a Black woman, so I wouldn't be able to get his perspective on it. But like, I do have like cousins, family members, and stuff that went to college, and sisters and stuff, and of course they had roommates. And I haven't heard that particular complaint. So I think that they save all of their foolishness and shit like that for black men.
With 2K.
So she reached out to Q, I believe, a couple weeks ago. That's what Q had kind of gave me the insight on. And so Q was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna put her." You know, I think what happened was we had already had the lineup or something like that. She had already had the lineup previously or something like that. So she told her she would get back in touch with her, and that she would be on. And she was like, "What do you think?" I was like, "I don't care. That's up to you. Whoever you want to be on." I forgot that she had reached out to her until we found out right before the show started that she was on. So again, Q curates whoever was on the panel. I think she did a phenomenal job. It was a fire show last night for me. So
she was talking like no one on the internet last night knew who she was.
That's true.
She was like, I don't like liars. I make my own money. I'm only around, like, I even super chat. She said, I'm only around good men. I'm like, then who threw a brick at your face then? You know what I mean? Like you acting like you don't know who the fuck you are.
See, this is how people become pathological liars, because they believe their own lies. So she'll say, like, you know, hey, yes, I'm only around good men, and she'll believe that. And then the next sentence, she's complaining about men and how, you know, she was SA'd, you know, 3 times this morning. You know, like, she actually believes both things to be true. It's kind of weird, and people like that are truly messed up in the brain.
Wait a minute. That's her?
Yeah.
Man, wow.
Yep, that was her.
I just thought about who it was. I'm like, I can't see people saying the brick lady. Oh, this is the habitual liar.
I didn't do research into what happened with her, whether she was lying or not, or anything like that. But I'm just
like police charges. There's like another GoFundMe outside of the brick thing that she got caught up in. Like, you a whole ass scammer, my nigga.
Yeah, no, she'll walk in L. Like, that's insane. She'll walk in L.
I think the biggest thing is that she thought that she was gonna come in and dominate the conversation.
She did too, and she didn't let up. Like, she was going like nigga, like, this was my shit.
I don't know if she just thought that she had that much clout or something, or that she was that visible, or that's just her personality, where she used to dominate. And it seemed like, because obviously she watched the show and she asked Q could she be on, so it seemed like she would know what to expect, and that wasn't gonna play out the way that she thought that it was. But she came in with all kindness for weakness or what? But
But she was right. She kept, like you said, she kept dipping back and talking about the brick stuff when you try to stay off of it. But clearly, she wanted that to be part of the show.
Mika, Carrie,
why is she in a car?
She was in a house at first before we started, and then she ended up in the car. Like, she was in a house and then she wound up going into the car. So I don't know. I have no clue.
That's why 2K say I seen your microwave.
That's true. That is very true.
Like, when Quentin said something in the chat last night, I was like, okay, let me go see what he's talking about. And then I saw it, and I saw her sitting in the car, and I was just like, okay. And then she overtalked and overtalked and overtalked. Like, she didn't come up for air. I've never seen nobody talk that fast.
I don't know. I was like, Jamisha and Ava weren't having that shit. Like, neither one of them niggas was like, nah, bitch.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think that her and Jazz could probably be tied for neck and neck by the end of that show, because the brick lady, obviously, she dropped off on her own. She tried to come back up and then say and get her thoughts off and say how. But let me fast forward a little bit towards the end of the show, because when we start talking about the Jay-Z conversation, I don't know what happened, but that just set Jazz off, and she was not letting up on me, 2K, or anybody, or me.
Okay, I'm up here with a couple hoes. I don't know no names, but that don't.
We should all leave it open, right, to consider that she might be telling the truth just based off of who this nigga Jay-Z been around all this time. And
hey,
connected.
Oh, okay, my bad. No, I was saying that y'all heard me say that Jazz crashed out, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's
a lot of y'all men is gonna be great in y'all own right. Who you are today, and tell Jamisha, like, yo, don't tell all of your personal business about any domestic violence or any. Very entertaining though.
Yeah.
I was just saying that men ain't. I was just like, yo, and I wait for the evidence to come.
You said that. I can't remember the whole thing, but
I don't know. They was just saying that
the feedback that she gave, I was just like, what? She was like, you should believe all. He was like, why would I do that? And then the answer that she gave, I remember, that's when I cut it off. I said, oh my gosh, she gave me a headache.
Well,
like, I couldn't take it.
The biggest that we have, I very much try not to include stuff until people bring it as a part of the conversation. So I didn't go in and say, well, it seemed like you lied about what it is that you said to her. I just kept it on the subject. But, you know, it is what it is. So,
Molly, I like that hat that you got on. It's cute.
I feel like Jazz knows somebody or went through something. She saying what?
The details of their personal life. All
right,
that's why. Stuff. Like I don't really like the contract. I don't like the contracts that they offer. But then
link in the chat just for you. But Jazz said, "Don't do that, Anton. Keep it 100. You never believe women and assume every man accused of foul play is innocent, and you got mad at that. Nope, that's not true. I don't believe.
Well, aren't you supposed to?
I don't believe people.
Every person is innocent until proven guilty.
She thinks that I don't just believe women. Nope. And Jazz, what you mean if I'm going to speak on you, speak the facts? I'm giving my opinion, but I'm also giving you the opportunity to be able to say whatever you want to say. I don't believe people. I believe that most people either embellish or they lie.
So this is obviously it's Jasmine Moore chick is on some believe all women stuff. All right, let's see if we could get back to when the brick lady comes in. I actually gotta go.
Sure. That shit started with like Bill Cosby, man. Like lately, like after that Bill Cosby shit, man.
No. I believe.
Agree. I mean, because of the Bill Cosby thing, somebody thought it'd be a bright idea to say that a person can accuse you of something 20 years ago. They just opened a statute of limitation, which existed for a reason. They just opened that like completely, and then all of this ludicrous crap started happening. You know, politicians politicking, like, you know, oh, believe all women. And, you know that guy from That 70s Show? He's now, hold on. That 70s Show. Actor. So he gets 30 years in prison. For the grapes of two women, and that allegedly happened in 2003. And I don't know the details of the of the case. You know, for all I know, he could be on video. You know, like, you know, he could be on video, like, okay. And, you know, they tied up and got a ball gag in their mouth like Pulp Fiction. You know, I don't know the details of the case, but I am going to say that 20 years, that's very, very odd. Like that's, you know, like they opened up the statute of limitation. Then they just came out of nowhere. Like, hey, wait a minute. This happened 20 years ago. And then all of a sudden he's in jail. Well, I'm not going to speak on it until I know the details of the case, but I just remember seeing the headlines and I'm like, I don't know. That sounds.
I believe Bill Cosby did it. I just believe they waited too long if they was going to say anything. And I believe that they.
I don't believe the allegations against Bill Cosby.
What did Bill Cosby do exactly?
I don't believe the allegations against Bill Cosby either.
I don't
know because he talked about it.
That I do know the details of, and he is an innocent man.
A lot. So I believe that he did it, but I don't believe that those women.
What did he do? What did he do, Mika?
What did he talk about?
So so back in the day, they used to have those comedy records, and a lot of his comedy, he would talk about how he would make those Spanish fly drinks and get girls or women really like out of their mind, drunk, whatever.
He's a guy that knows that certain alcoholic beverages put women in the mood. That equates to grape to you?
Because then you can have, all types of sex or whatever. And so he kept saying it, right? And even Charlemagne used to make jokes about it, right? If you go back to like old Charlemagne, I mean, like really old, back with Wendy Williams and all that. Charlamagne used to make jokes about it.
Educated Tyrone said, didn't a lot of those women want those drinks? No, they all did. That's why they drank it. Like, what did he spike the air and the drinks got in it? Like, did he put it in their veins? Like, yes, they wanted the drink. Some drinks, and I don't know because I'm not a bartender, nor am I a chemist or a drinker, but I do know that some drinks does loosen a woman's inhibitions.
Right. But like I said, I believe that he was doing what he said, but I also believe that those women were, most of them, maybe not all of them, but most of them were in on it. Meaning you went.
It's not grape if they're in on it. You stupid cow. The women were in on the grape. That, by definition, is consent. And the presence of consent negate the grape allegation.
There, you knew that man was married. He's been married forever. Okay, you knew he was married. You knew he's not going to want to have no other thing than a sexual relationship with you. So a lot of the times, the stuff that these women be talking about is just like.
So these are consensual sexual relationships with the men. So where does the grape come in?
I believe that all of them women was participatory in their own. But here's the thing. I think it's a thin line between saying I believe he did that as far as the accusations that was levied against him. I do not believe that Bill Cosby raped anybody. I don't.
There we go. Yeah.
All of them women that was accusing him, they said that he paid for their tuition. They came back for more. They was participating. They was going up to his hotel room. They was taking payments from him. All of that. And then all of a sudden.
By the way, I got into it with lead attorney over this.
40, 50 years later, when you aged out, you going to come back and say that he did something to you? I just don't. I don't. I believe that, especially back in that time, drugs was a thing, that people was getting. Drugs is a thing now. It's people that be taking all kind of uppers, downers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Stuff or whatever. But here's my thing. I don't believe that he raped nobody is what I'm saying. I don't believe that. I don't. I believe that people be taking stuff that he.
Yeah, like, I mean, how many people took, I think they call it Molly now, but yeah, like ecstasy, Molly, like whatever you want to call it. Like, how many women did that because it made it better? Like, like how many guys, particularly white guys, will say, yeah, I got some Molly at the house. Have you ever tried getting eaten out after eating a Molly? Like it's the same thing.
High, they be participating in all of this stuff, and then they get the money and they be his side chick and all.
Yeah, I think that Quaaludes was the Molly at the time. I mean, never actually eating one because I don't think that they exist anymore. But from what I've seen and how it's been presented in Hollywood, it was the Molly of the time. Like, it was an extraordinarily expensive drug because it was depleting, meaning that there was a finite amount of them, meaning that every time one was consumed, the rest will become more valuable. So it seemed to have been a drug that only wealthy men can afford, and women would do anything for it. That's not grape at all. And the references I use would be Wolf of Wall Street, where, Leonardo DiCaprio played the role of an extraordinarily wealthy man who got excited when a Quaalude was presented to himself. And he didn't waste it by poisoning a drink of some broad. When he got a hold of one, he was like, "Ooh, it's a lemon brand," and he did an enema. He urinated. He vomited. He made sure that it was nothing else in his system, so he can enjoy this. Does that sound like something that you put in a bitch's coffee so she'll drop panties, or does it sound like something expensive that everybody wanted and that women would do anything for? And Bill Cosby was giving it to these broads. Like, that's what it sounds like. That's the one reference. But then there's a far more older reference, probably older than I am. I don't know when this movie came out, called the movie Scarface with Al Pacino, where, you know, his sugar baby / wife was leaving, and then he was like, she'll be back. She'll be back. Another Quaalude, she'll be back. Which really means that, you know, he's a rich man. He can afford Quaaludes, and a bratty, uppity wife will behave for Quaaludes. So but yeah, I hate what they did to Cosby. I truly hate what they did to Cosby.
All of this other stuff that he got going on.
Well, that's what
And now they're trying to do it over and over and over again. You know, like with this Jay-Z thing, like yes, it was 20 years ago that this happened after a concert. Like, listen, you know, 20 years ago, you were 13 and you're broke now at 43. So you decided to get money from somebody that allegedly, I don't know, but that's what it seems like.
That's
and then they come over 50 years later when it's popular to do so and say, oh, no, me too.
But I never heard, hold on.
You can't take the money.
I thought he got locked up for the drugging.
You can't take them.
Yeah, it was an unlawful ruling. It was an unlawful ruling.
What? They had no evidence and no proof against him.
I never heard the raping now. So okay.
That's what the accusations were. You can't just get you can't go to jail just drugging somebody.
I heard about the drugging, but I didn't hear about the rape. What in the entire fuck? Is she on Quaaludes? I mean, she could get it, but is she on Quaaludes? Like, so according to her, he was just drugging people to not rape them. Or excuse me, not grape them. Because that's the way people think. That's how the world works. Like, he's going to drug her, and then he's going to, you know, lay her down, put her to bed, and, you know, have some hot cocoa for her in the morning. Like, and he's a monster for that. Yeah, exactly. It's called party and play.
And another thing is, they were using Quaaludes, which don't even exist anymore. So you can't even check to see if that was in their system. You don't even know. Like, none of this shit is even legitimate. None of that shit.
But when you talk about Bill Cosby, what I'm talking about is what he told.
I'll be honest. I do think that Molly and ecstasy and all that stuff, I think that that's just like I think that that's just like another modern form of Quaaludes. You know, like, it's the same chemistry. It's in the family of Quaaludes. It's just Quaaludes no longer exist, like he said, and somebody found something very similar or created something very similar.
Talked about. Now, I don't know about the rape stuff because I guess I missed that. But I know when Bill Cosby talked about slipping girls pills and the Spanish fly.
Once again, you thought that. I can't believe an adult actually said, I know about the Cosby situation, but I didn't know about the rape stuff. Like, what the fuck? I know about the Ike Turner situation. I didn't know about the beatings. Oh, yes. I heard about that guy in Germany with the mustache, but I didn't know about the war. Like, I heard about Monica Lewinsky, and wait, I didn't know about Bill Clinton, though. What did you hear?
And all that stuff, because that's what that stuff is. He talked about that.
Yeah.
So if you talk about it yourself, then I'm inclined to believe it, right? But
well, the thing is, it's a party. It was a party drug.
I don't know nothing about that stuff. But
Mika, everybody was using them. They were very cognizant of what was going on.
I can believe that's why I said you knew what you were doing when you go up to a man's room and things like that. Now, that's still not to say that
you don't have to explode.
Somebody never did something, but I can't prove it. So
is that it from the brick?
You don't have to explode, Quentin. You can just be regular. Don't worry about it, big dog. We good. I'm Quentin's manager. I'm Quentin's manager tonight.
Wait a minute. Is that it?
Like two things can be true. Like if the man is saying that he did something, that he used to do the Spanish fly, and then Charlamagne got in trouble for the same thing. Because Charlamagne kept saying, "Oh, I know, huh?"
It can't be 50 years later though.
No, I'm not talking. But see, I'm not talking about them coming back because I don't believe people
have it after this.
The
This is my message.
That I have is that you automatically assume that these women.
That's cool. This is my message to the men. A lot of y'all is there's plenty of people that do stuff all the time, and I didn't even want to talk about that. I was trying to convince.
Then to prove guilty.
She thinks.
This is dumb.
Well, no, when really like out of their mind, drunk, whatever.
Okay, Cortez and Anton. This is a misnomer. This is you don't have a 26-minute video where only 2 of them consist of what the title is about. I expected a much bigger and larger crash out. Damn it, Cortez. And I know that it's on the real video, but now I got to look it up, and I already did this. Damn it. Just damn it. All right, that is what it is. I'm at the 3-hour mark. All right.
Because then you can have,
All right. I want to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats. I also want to thank the people that, even Cortez, I want to thank the people that sent the videos. I greatly appreciate that. Managers and moderators, but most importantly, the members, those who listen silently, those who participate in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. And this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.